Tonight, we're going to talk about food, that thing that you constantly want, need, but can't have. Specifically, we're going to discuss some of the difficult choices college students have to make surrounding healthy eating habits. And a huge part of the university population struggles with something called food insecurity. And no, that's not when you're drinking 1% when you really could be drinking whole. Your mom goes to college. The reality is that many college students don't have reliable access to nutritious food. And this can result from being financially unable to afford healthy food or by living in a situation where nutritious food is unavailable. In fact, 40% of college students in the United States suffer from this food insecurity. And this shouldn't be confused with the 100% of college students that just suffer from regular insecurity. So day in and day out, many of us students have to choose between having money and eating well. In addition to choosing between sleep, social life, good grades, masturbating, Netflix, getting high, brushing your teeth while getting high. Now, in order to talk about, that's the 6 things. Now, in order to talk about this issue, we need to get an idea of what we students really sustain ourselves on. Now, I'm a pretty busy guy. I host this show, I have a mailbox, my house is infested with ants, there's millions of them, and they all depend on me. I barely have time or the skill to cook myself a good meal. Trust me, I've tried. I watch those BuzzFeed tasty videos, but honestly, I don't get it. I never have enough bowls. Why do I need a different bowl for every ingredient? Salt doesn't need a bowl! For real though, the internet can be a great place to learn to cook. Here's a college life hack. Making a quesadilla with an iron is an easy way to eat cold cheese between wet tortillas and burn down your dorm. So instead of getting written up for arson, we resort to things like, cup noodles and Pop-Tarts and Easy Mac and Hot Cheetos and Taco Bell. And, these are great when you're just trying to survive the day on a budget, or when you're too high to use the stove. But honestly, this stuff is toxic waste. The Nightcap team and I have been rehearsing with this bag of Taco Bell nachos for 3 days, and it hasn't gone bad, which is sort of quality craftsmanship, but it's besides the point. With all of this easy crap, we start to rely on that warm and huggy MSG feeling. We'll eat a bag of chips or a microwave burrito, to curb our hunger pangs until we have time to actually make something substantial, but then we never get to the second part. All that cheap, accessible food leads to stress, which only leads to more bad eating habits, and pretty soon we're just skipping meals and just filling ourselves with sugar, sodium, and God's perfect little Colombian drug, coffee. It's convenient, but it's far from healthy. Take Easy Mac, for example. Easy Mac contains ingredients that, according to the USDA, are generally recognized as safe. Yes, like I'm generally recognized as a good-looking person, but the key word here is generally. Aside from these easily accessible meal substitutes, did he bring it back? Aside from these easily accessible meal substitutes, we students can't even find the time in our busy schedules to eat, let alone eat well. How many times have you been sitting in class and your feet start to go numb and your eyes start to twitch and your professor starts to sound like one of the adults from Charlie Brown? So you start to WebMD your symptoms because clearly you've contracted some sort of off-brand scurvy from the dorms, and it's taking over in the middle of Comms 101. And then you ask your group partner if they would do a walk for the cure for you, and they're like, dude, when was the last time you ate? That's probably your issue. And you remember that, I don't know, 2 days ago you had a burrito. And just this morning you found half a bag of pita chips in your car. They weren't stale. You ate them. And, so you're good for another 12 to 16 hours. You're in college. Adderall is your food now. And this, or some version of this, becomes your daily routine. We have work, we have school, we have to try to sleep, we have to study, and all this cheap junk food is always just within reach, which leaves us very little room for healthy eating habits. By the way, donate now to offbrandscurvy.net. Together we can make up a cure. And we all have that girl in our class that eats vegan yoga dirt bowls and rice, Soylent kale smoothies and won't shut the fuck up about it on Instagram. And somehow she has enough bowls. Salt doesn't need a fucking bowl. Here's the thing. Eating like a trash bird may work for her. And that's great. There's nothing better than that picture. Eating like a trash bird may work for her, and that's great. She's got her healthy eating figured out. But I'm like a human man. I need something that is substantial and not just like 3 chia seeds hanging 10 off a celery stick. Especially when each chia seed costs like $6 at Whole Foods. It's really important to feed yourself, especially when you have a busy day. So if you don't have the time or the money to cook, what do? And I know what you're thinking. Jordan, you silly Billy. You and your militia of ant children should just eat on campus. They have food for you. Now, if you're like me, the food on my campus tastes like this. However, in case you forgot, let me remind you. In corner number 1, at 1,440 calories and 100 grams of fat, it's the campus dining carne asada salad. I'll let you look at that. And in corner number 2, oh God, at 3,800 calories and 173 grams of fat, it's the tacos to go iguana burrito. Oh, I'm gonna have to two-hand this. Oh. Who wins? Nobody knows. Who loses? Buttholes everywhere. So, and if you're wondering what that smell is, it's this. So, campus dining isn't offering us the affordable and healthy options unless you eat this entire iguana burrito in 15 minutes and then it's free. And real nutritious food from the supermarket is just too expensive. So who has the solution? The answer is going to surprise you. It's the state. A new outreach program forming in the CSU system is called CalFresh. And even though it sounds like that kid from your hometown who still thinks he's going to be a DJ, this is a really awesome program. DJ CalFresh is a federal nutrition program that helps you stretch your food budget to buy healthy food. It's a great program for college students who need that extra money for groceries, especially the healthy options. And no, you can't buy liquor. We tried. Not even that Bringo Tree Saps organic microbrew. CalFresh can be used at farmers markets and grocery stores, and unlike the meal plan you had freshman year, anything you don't use rolls over to the next month. So check your eligibility. You can click the link in our description. Right now, it's available across the CSUs, and we hope to see it expand across the United States. Because, come on, if Chico State is doing it. pretty much anyone can do it. Pew, 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 pew. And if you don't think you have a problem, look at our college food pyramid. CalFresh might not fit your needs, but try getting together with friends to cook large meals that can be frozen and saved for when your schedule is just too hectic. Go to the grocery store with a healthy recipe in mind, and that way you don't end up buying things you don't need, like Snickers or deodorant. Also that smell. Obviously, this isn't a magic wand that will make all food insecurity go away, but it's definitely a step in the right direction. DJ CalFresh, take it away.